Okay.
All right. You ready for this cold open?
I am ready for it. Maybe. Oh, you're going to... Okay.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
That was a cold open.
How is that seltzer? Jeez, you're always yelling at me for making mouth noises.
It's refreshing.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Who are you?
I'm Daniel Cardiff.
And I'm Philip Osterday.
And this is Classic Countdown Conversations.
Where we count down the best.
And the worst.
That media
has to offer. When we feel like it. We don't really feel like it today. Well,
no,
I mean, that's
do.
not necessarily... It's not a typical...
We don't count down nothing.
We're not doing our top 10 usual format here. I swear. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about WandaVision.
Yeah, I feel like it's a weird week to talk about WandaVision. This isn't going to be a typical WandaVision podcast because it's not. We haven't talked about it weekly.
No,
we're not waiting till it's over with to discuss the show like in general. This is just the week that we were able to record together. So
we're just excited about WandaVision.
We really like it. I know a lot of people, a bunch of people I know are like, don't like it.
Stupid show.
It's because they're dumb.
They don't get it.
No, that's not true. Everyone's they can have their own opinion.
The one person that I heard that didn't like it was Felipe.
Yeah.
Felipe's didn't grow up in America, so that's probably why.
Yeah, get out of here.
No, not that.
Tanner also doesn't like it, but he watched 2 minutes with me, and he was like, I don't like these characters. He's like, those two are like my least favorite Marvel characters, so why would I watch a show about it? And then he watched like 2 minutes with me, and now he's like, every time I bring it up, he's like, dumb show.
Ugh,
yeah.
Tanner.
Like,
we're like lamer.
Dumber. Oh, okay. Yours
Both.
was better. Yours was better.
I mean, maybe.
So it's not, we're not talking about the entirety of the show. We're not doing week by week. We're going to talk about everything that has happened already and then do some speculation as to what's going to happen the next 2 weeks.
This is very specific to this week.
It is very specific. If you don't listen to it now, it's going to age very poorly.
Yeah. And maybe you'll listen to it. Maybe we'll make some really good predictions and it'll be like, whoa, these guys knew what they were talking about. We should listen to them all the time.
Speaking of which, don't go back and listen to our endgame predictions. Just don't do it.
Were they bad?
I actually, I haven't gone back and listened to it after I saw the movie. Oh. I know we predicted a few things kind of right. Is that still as refreshing as it was the first couple times? So when we do the speculation part of the episode, I'm going to cover a lot of ground, so I'm sure I'll be right about some things. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess we can just dive right into it.
Well, no. What's been going on?
I guess we gotta talk. What's new in my life?
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. I do want to point something out.
Okay.
I listened to our last episode
about Community.
Recently, and in that episode, we started out by saying we're back and we're gonna be consistent.
Nah.
Well.
Nah, dog.
I'm sorry.
I don't know whose fault it was. Probably mine.
I think it was both. I got sick. I didn't want to be around you and Lindsay
That's
and the baby.
True. You got something.
I got the Rona.
You may have gotten the Rona.
I think I did.
And then you didn't get. You got tested and it said you didn't have it.
Yeah. So I must have lost my taste like right at the end.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of news. Moved out. Also back like at the beginning of last year, we did our New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
One of my resolutions was to move out. By 2021, and I did it by a day.
Wow.
I moved out on December 31st.
Wow.
So there we go.
In the midst of a pandemic.
In the midst of a pandemic with another guy. We're only friends. Even though he does call me Snuggle Muffin and his sweet prince, we are only friends.
There you go. Mixed signals, but
a little bit of mixed signals from both of us. It's okay. It's worked so far. So that's what's new with me.
okay.
What about you? Anything?
I'm a workout boy.
You're a workout boy.
I'm a workout boy.
How much you working out?
I work out a lot,
Well,
like twice a week.
okay.
And now I don't do it anymore because I don't have trainers anymore.
They left.
Well, I got rid of them.
Okay.
More like I didn't renew. But I'm feeling healthy.
Yeah.
I do have this thing in my throat right now.
I can tell, and you're picking up your drink again. I'm so sorry, people. Usually, I'm the one that's making gross mouth noises, and Philip can't stand it. But I guess Philip's kind of hypocritical, huh? For people whose this is their first episode, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, you good? What do you have in your throat? Are you okay?
I'm okay. Something about being a workout boy makes you kind of like
Thirsty?
makes you thirsty, and also I get a little like coffee. Like not like I need coffee,
But like you
drink,
cough a
but
lot?
I want to cough.
Is it the mailman?
No, it's Dennis.
So you've been coughing a lot?
I mean, not all the time, but when I work out, I'm like afterwards, and it's really annoying.
So that's why you're drinking your gross seltzer.
That's why I got my. Well, it's not gross.
Well,
It tastes
the way
great.
you're drinking it is.
Nah,
Should we get on to WandaVision? The reason for this episode?
I guess so. If
Okay.
you insist.
I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, so I think where do we start? I don't want to go like episode by episode.
Let's talk about how cool it is.
how cool.
Let's just
okay.
let's talk about the music.
Oh,
The
you like
intros.
the
Intros.
okay. So let's start with that then. Let's start with the sitcom aspect of the
Yeah,
show.
it's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of they've painstakingly made it very accurate.
Yes, I was just thinking about the show, and I was like, it's a delight to watch. That's how I put it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, they're like, it's not like bad. I don't know how to put it. Like it's not like
inappropriate or
no. It's not like you almost like I don't know. I just kind of halfway expect something like a new show to come out. Like, well,
oh, I see what you
it's
mean.
just gonna be like
It's gonna be like everything else.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this has got some twists and turns. It's got a cool little hook to it,
Yes.
and it's Marvel. How did they?
It's unique and creative.
Yeah.
Which is it's something in very it doesn't come around too often. It's
Yeah.
something that's this unique.
I just was expecting, like, I saw the previews for it. I was like, it'll probably be fine to watch, but it's
Right.
not going to be like really great.
Yeah.
Because I just assumed like, oh, it's just going to be like they're just doing sitcoms.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't sure how they, because that's what I obviously, you know me and everyone who listens religiously, because we have tons of those. You know that I don't watch trailers, but I heard some rumblings about the show before it came out, and it was like they're doing not parodies of sitcoms, but almost like nods to them, or how did we say we were gonna homage?
Oh yeah, homage.
Because some people say homage, some people say homage, so we say homage. They're homages to each decade in sitcom.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I was going with that one.
You don't watch.
Oh yeah, I don't watch it, so I obviously have no expectations. I had heard that Marvel was putting in huge budgets for these shows because it looks just as great as the movies do.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no, if you were to show me a scene, especially from this last episode, there was a shot of Vision standing outside.
Yes.
The blackout, the background was super blurry.
Yeah.
And he was just like so crisp and like good looking. I was just like, if I had never seen Endgame and someone said that was a scene from Endgame, I would be like, yeah, obviously it looks just as good. So I think having the budget they do helps a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just a fun romp. The first like 2/3 of an episode are usually pretty fun romps. That it takes a dark turn towards the end.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay.
But
and I like the little intros, and they do like specific to each era.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of pick one specific show to mock.
Yes.
But then they add elements in from other shows at the time. So like, I think it's the second episode is like Bewitched.
Right.
The intro is like a cartoon, and that one seems very Bewitched. And then the first one is, I don't know, maybe I Love Lucy or
Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, something like that. Malcolm in the Middle was very prevalent in last week's episode. Modern Family probably for this week's episode. And then the 80s, 70s was Brady Bunch. I don't know really what the 80s one was. Roseanne, maybe?
Yeah. Roseanne sounds like, definitely more of those 90s, 80s sitcoms where it was like, I guess Malcolm in the Middle was 90s, but.
Well, that was actually 2000s. That's what I was going to bring up was they skipped the 90s.
Did they skip the 90s?
But I think the reasoning is because a lot of the bigger shows in the 80s trickled over into the 90s.
Yeah.
So I think that episode was supposed to be both.
Yeah.
Because the boys grow up in that episode. So I think it was supposed to kind of take place over.
That's true.
Over 2 decades.
Yeah, I see. I got you.
I don't prefer that. I would have liked a Seinfeld. Yeah, like that type of episode, but we didn't get it, and that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing something that bugs me.
Oh.
Yeah, this is gonna be good and bads. The laugh track, I just don't like laugh tracks at all, and I understand that
they didn't have a laugh track in the newest one,
or last week's. When last week's episode started and there was no laugh track, I had like a sigh of relief. I was like, oh, yes, we're into the comedies, the sitcoms that don't have that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like a lot of those shows back then either were filmed in front of a live audience or had laugh tracks. But it was like a lot of the jokes really weren't landing with me. And then there'd be like a laugh track. So I guess kind of like a lot of sitcoms.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
I more so just liked the creativity in the filmmaking in the first few episodes rather than like I didn't find them all that funny.
Yeah. I didn't think that they were very funny.
Yeah. I think the funniest episode was the Halloween one because I guess spoilers for this whole thing, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll get into a segment here in a minute or in a little bit that Philip is going to say spoiler that I don't know about, but spoilers from here on out.
Yeah.
Pietro is just like he was just so funny to me. I just love him.
Yes,
so like
yes.
that episode was funny to me. But then other than that, it was more so I was just kind of admiring the way that they made the show as opposed to laughing a whole lot. You know?
Yeah. It was. I didn't feel like it needed to be that funny.
Yeah, and I mean shows from the 50s and 60s aren't that funny either way. So like
some of them are.
Some of them
there's
are.
like it's always like. There's like 3 episodes in a whole season. There's like that was really funny.
Yeah, that was well written.
Yeah.
But so yeah. Anyways, I think the sitcom element of the show is handled very, very well.
Yes.
Now I guess we'll talk about the other element of the show.
Yeah.
The mystery aspect of it.
Ooh. Spooktacular. Actually, did you notice they used Spooktacular?
I did.
They stole it from us.
Our the big monopoly of Disney and Marvel listened to this very small show. They stole it from us. The Halloween episode was called Spectacular.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we invented that.
We did.
All right. So what I think obviously last night's episode, depending on when you watch it, last night's episode was like it revealed something big.
I guess we need to say what last night's episode was for people in the future.
Episode 7. The Modern Family esque one.
Breaking the Fourth Wall was in the description of the show.
I think that was the title of the episode.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Wanda breaks the fourth wall.
Yes, and so does Agnes. Or should we call her something Harkness? Agatha Harkness is her name.
Yes.
She turned out to be the main. Actually, we don't know.
I think that's something we need to discuss.
Okay,
later.
well, let's discuss that later. She turned out to be a villain.
Yes,
we knew something was up with her because she had a bigger role than the other townspeople, and she seemed more aware of things than everyone else did.
Understand things.
Yes, so I knew something was going on with her. I figured she was going to be a villain. And then last night they gave away that she was. However, leading up to last night, my favorite thing about this show is that like they just keep taking turns that I don't expect. Yeah. I'm expecting them to go one way and then they take it in a way that I'm not.
Well, like so first episode.
Yes.
It's like
there's like one scene.
There's one scene you're like, why are they focusing on this guy choking?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just so good.
Well, and like his wife is just like, stop it. Yeah. Stop it.
Yes.
It's like you're like, okay, something's off here.
Yes.
Because that was the first like indication. Because the episode starts out and it's just like they're in the 50s sitcom.
Yep.
And then right then it was like, oh, okay, yeah. She changed her demeanor. She was like, Vision, help him. And like it got like really serious and kind of eerie.
Yes. And like the filming changed, the way they filmed it.
Yes.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it was a nice hook at the end of the first episode. And then moves on as if nothing happened. Yep. And then the second episode also didn't have much going on. There was the part where like the helicopter came into it.
Yes, it was red. And like, why is it red?
Yeah, exactly. And then you could hear Jimmy Woo, which we'll talk about Jimmy Woo here in a little bit.
Jimmy Woo.
Love him. His voice was coming on over the radio.
Did anybody that you saw knew that it was Jimmy Woo?
I think I saw someone had posted. They were like, it sounds like this actor.
Jeez.
And it was him. So
people be crazy.
But then, and I was like, what? No, that doesn't make any sense. And then, of course, it did end up being him. But yeah, and then there was the guy with the bees at the end. And then
bees?
Beads! I'm sorry, I probably.
That's all right. Worth it.
For all you Arrested Development fans. And then she changes reality. And you're like, okay. She obviously...
What happens?
That guy like comes out of the sewer and he's like, bees are like flying around him. And then she's like, nope. And she changes from black and white to color.
Oh, right. I didn't realize that was at the end of that episode.
Yeah. So you realize that like something's going on that she doesn't want there to be.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, but then we end.
Yes.
We end that episode. Do you have? You seem like you have.
I had something and then I forgot.
I think one of the things that makes the mystery aspect work so well is that whenever the next episode starts, they don't really talk about the last episode.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a clean slate because Vision obviously learns throughout. Yes. He learns more and more as the episodes go along, but like different setting, different style.
Good night.
Yeah, different setting, different style. It kind of throws you off, and then they don't really bring up the events of the past episodes. So like, you're like, what is happening, and why is this doing this? It's like teasing you with things, but not giving you the whole picture.
Well, and I think what also makes the mystery work is that you are learning everything the same time as Vision.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Up until a certain point. We kind of know more than Vision right now. In some respects.
And so, yeah, the fourth, what did you feel about the fourth episode? Because they drop a butt ton of exposition that fourth episode.
Is that the one
that's outside of the sitcom?
I think I liked it. I think I liked it enough because it was like, except that I wanted to see more Wanda and Vision just because I was like, oh, I kind of miss them now.
Yes, yeah.
But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, it's like the Fly episode of Breaking Bad, where it's just like, it needed to happen.
Yeah, right.
It didn't really like, I guess the Fly episode's the opposite of that. It didn't need to happen, but it was so good.
Exactly.
But like, I don't know. It was good in and of itself, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it needed to happen. At the time, I was like, man, I wish they hadn't done that so early.
Yeah.
Then I was like, wait, there's only 9 episodes.
Yeah, they had to.
They have to do it. They couldn't wait till like episode 6 to.
Yes.
I liked that there was mystery.
Yes.
However,
there's still mystery.
And like I think that's when watching that episode, I was like, they kind of like deflated everything,
Yeah.
but then there were still things going on behind the scenes.
And thankfully they like kept it that there's still some like they don't quite know what's going on.
Yes, exactly.
Which helps like you just like you're still on the edge of your seat. Like I
Right.
need to know what exactly is happening.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Yes, yeah, and then you're kind of on their side at that point. Not on their side, but you're viewing it through their eyes at that point.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I'm going back an episode. I guess we are kind of going episode, but
this mystery is fun.
I think the thing that catapulted this into a show where I was like, oh, okay, I very much so wanted to see where this is heading is when Monica brought up Pietro.
Yes.
Wanda brings him up.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? And
Yes.
it like that scene was the first like great scene, I feel like. It was at the end of the third episode. First off, it's just because I love Pietro. And when we get to Daniel's Thought Corner, you're going to see how much I love him. And they just did him so dirty in Age of Ultron. And they've never brought him up until that point.
Yeah.
So it's like 6 years that the character hasn't gotten brought up. And it almost had a pretty emotional impact because of that. You're like, oh, yeah right.
Yeah.
She must be suppressing these memories of her
Right.
brother. So I thought that scene was I was like, okay, I want to see where this is heading now, because it took, as the first two episodes did, it kind of took a dark turn at the end. This took like a very like, oh crap, something big is happening.
Well, and then what was this? Which episode was it where you see Dead Vision for like a second?
So that's the fourth episode.
And that was awesome.
Well, because then that implies more things. Yeah.
So that was like, it was just like, okay, like, so what is Wanda doing for real?
Right.
Like, is he dead? Or is he?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think that was because that was the episode that I said I wish they, at the time, I wish they had pushed it back a few more,
Yeah.
but now I understand that it was probably where it needed to be. But it was at that end of the episode where you see Dead Vision, and then
Yes.
you're like, it opens up a whole new can of worms,
Yes.
basically, to where you don't really care about the mystery of what's going, of like what Westview is anymore.
Yeah.
It's more so just like, okay, I want to know why Wanda's doing this. What exact is it? Her? Is it someone else kind of pulling the strings behind her? Which it
Seems to be.
It seems to be now that Agatha was kind of pulling the strings, but also using, I don't know. I guess we'll get that into predictions later on like what Agatha's end game is.
Yeah.
Here, but no pun intended. So the mystery element is really good, and this episode 7 left it up to even more mystery, which again we'll get into when we do our predictions for the next 2 episodes. But I think let's talk about characters really quick, and then we'll move on to-
first you should do your thought corner.
I'll do that after this.
Well, how about you do it now?
Well, because I'm going to talk about Pietro and the characters, and then I'll
All right.
talk about them more.
All right.
Okay, so let's try not to talk about every single character.
All right. The
Let's
black
do.
guy at the fence. That guy's my favorite.
He's very good. And I wonder, well, hold on, let's get to him in a minute. But let's make a list of characters that we probably should talk about.
All right.
Okay, so Wanda and Vision.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Pietro.
Okay.
We'll talk about the trio outside of the fence.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I don't remember.
Jimmy,
Woo.
Monica, and Darcy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
I'm glad you're here.
You're welcome. Let's talk about the new director, the
Yeah.
director of Sword, because
Yeah.
I think something's going on with him.
Yep.
And then Agatha.
Yep.
And then you want to talk about the guy at the fence.
Yeah. And he's also the guy. He also does. He's like. What is that guy's name? Frankenstein in the.
Yes, in the Halloween one. Yeah.
Halloween movies. What I just called it. I just like the guy.
Yeah, no, he is. He's probably my favorite.
He also like almost says something. He's like, well, because we're all It's because we're all.
You're like, say it. What are you talking about? Well, and then Agatha's like, and now you're like, oh, okay. But I wonder why he.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to know.
Why he knew, or how he knew,
or maybe Vision was doing something to him as she like stopped him. I don't know, because Vision has some sort of magic power.
Yeah,
over these people.
He can take over or let them see things for what they are. Hold on, let's get back to that at predictions because I have a thought now on that whole thing. Okay, so Wanda and Vision, the two titular
dead
characters.
Vision.
Yeah, so we have post Endgame or post Infinity War Vision. He's dead,
but somehow alive.
Well, yeah, Wanda is bringing him back to life.
Well,
somehow.
but also they mentioned he's. They were trying to resurrect him.
That's true. Sword was.
Yeah. So maybe he is alive. And she took him out.
No, but then
he was in like a cemetery thingy.
Darcy was like, but they never got any ground on it or something.
Did she say that?
She said something along those lines.
Okay.
Anyways, Vision is the character I feel very bad for.
Because he's like just not. He doesn't remember anything.
He doesn't remember anything. He's not choosing to be here.
Yeah.
He's just as much of a hostage, it seems like, as the rest of the people in the town. And like Vision was just always such a good, like if you go back to Age of Ultron, his first appearance, he's like worthy enough to pick up Thor's hammer.
Oh, right.
So we know that he's like good of heart.
Yeah.
Especially when he gets out of the hex and he's like, save the people. It's like he's just being selfless.
Yeah.
He just cares about other people and wants other people to be saved. So like Vision is like the best person possible.
Yes.
He's selfless. He's a real hero.
Yep.
So like seeing him kind of being manipulated is like sad.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And what's his last name?
Bettany.
He's doing a good job. There's that moment where him and Wanda like duke it out.
Yeah, I thought that they were about to start blasting each other with lasers at that point. It was awesome.
It could have been cool. Can Vision actually do lasers?
He can shoot it out of his forehead.
But can he do it now?
Now, I don't know. That brings up another question that we don't really have to get into, but that can't be the Mind Stone because the Mind Stone's destroyed in his forehead. So I don't know. I don't know if they're even going to go into that or not.
Maybe there's
more to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, he like gets like angry at her.
Big toe stone.
What?
It's the opposite of the mind.
I don't think so.
Big butt stone.
There you go. Yeah, he like gets angry at Wanda in that scene. He's like, "Stop lying to me!" And he like flies up. It's awesome. I think I told you after that episode. I was like, Paul Bettany's bringing his A game with that. So I guess now. So then let's talk about Wanda.
Yeah,
she's kind of getting nasty.
I didn't love her in this last episode. The actress. I did the like talking head stuff. I was like,
Do you think that was performance or direction?
I don't know. She was kind of annoying.
Oh, really?
So performance.
I didn't love her story in this last episode, in episode 7.
I almost don't. I think because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything for her as a character.
Because she's just holding all these people hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that she's manipulating Vision, dead Vision, so that she can still have a husband. I understand that.
Yeah. But manipulating
everyone,
of people.
and then also she doesn't quite get it, and so it's just kind of like, but she doesn't seem upset about it.
Well, so
I don't know.
Or go ahead.
I just want them to explain it more as like why she's doing everything, and I'm sure that they will.
Right. Well, she says in one episode, she says, "I don't know how this started." So I'm assuming Agatha has something to do with that.
Yeah.
However, when she's talking to Pietro in the Halloween episode, she's like, "So you don't think what I'm doing is wrong?"
Oh, right.
He's like, "No, it's awesome."
That's true. But
so it's like she knows what she's doing, but she also doesn't know how it started.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, but I have the same, not problem as you, but I'm in the same boat as to where like I don't care too much for her right now.
Yeah.
Because she is kind of becoming villainous, and she even said in episode 7, she's like, maybe I am the villain.
Yeah. Which I kind of like. I would be fine with that if that's what happens.
Well, and like in the comic book, she's been back and forth, hero, villain, stuff like that. She was introduced as a villain in Age of Ultron, so there's obviously that inside of her to where she's kind of on the fence, anyways. But
Russians,
those dang Russians. But yeah, I like the idea that she's just completely gone mad.
Yeah. Yes.
It's interesting. It's something, again, the show's unique. Like, they don't do that. They wouldn't do that in a movie.
No. Yeah.
I think the closest thing we ever got to that in a movie is like Tony had PTSD in Iron Man 3.
Right.
But, you know.
I think what's fun about this too is that it's like they're actually using the medium well.
Yes.
Where it's like it could have been just like a movie each time, and instead it's like, no, this is like a continuous story.
Yes. Yeah.
That like if you had done this in a movie, it would have been really bad.
Right. Yeah. I saw a post the other day. It was a negative review of WandaVision, and it was like, they're just stretching a movie's worth of storytelling into 9 episodes to keep viewers coming back or something. And someone responded, and they're like, welcome to television. Like, yeah, obviously that's what, you know.
Yeah.
But if this was just a movie,
you couldn't have had all 9 seasons of different, like, you couldn't have different genres.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot to it to where, like, it needs to be a episodic thing and not just a 2-hour concise, movie.
Plus, we get to dive deep in with the characters.
Exactly. I've realized over the years that television is much, much better than film when done right. When done as like Breaking Bad or something like that. But or WandaVision. It's not on the same level as Breaking Bad. That's for sure.
No. But it's still good.
It's good. Let's talk about the trio.
Okay.
Our favorite character ever,
Jimmy Woo.
Just very relatable.
Just good,
everyman.
Good guy.
He likes magic tricks.
Yeah.
He's a youth pastor, which is your favorite thing about him.
The actor had like an interview, and he like does a card trick at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're like, somebody asked him like, do you think that you survived the snap? And he's like, I had to have, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to learn that card trick.
That's awesome. Well, because that's a throwback to, because he was introduced in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
As Scott's like, not parole officer, but the guy that keeps tabs.
I feel like he is his
parole officer.
Yeah, I think he is.
And Scott does the magic trick.
Yes.
And then he's like, how'd you do it? And then later, I didn't remember this, but later on, because I was just watching Jimmy Woo scenes the other day. Later on in that movie, a guy runs into his office. And he's like, "Sir," and Jimmy Woo like is holding a deck of cards and like spills them. And he's like, "Do you never knock?" So he's already trying to learn it right after his
awesome.
Conversation with Scott.
I wonder if that actor's just really funny.
He seems like it.
Or if they just have written him really well. I don't know.
I don't know. But then, yeah, he's perfected the card trick. He does it with his FBI, like, personal info. And then, so he brings levity. He brings relatability.
Yes.
And, but he's also like competent.
Yeah, he can also whoop some butt if he wants to.
Yeah, him and Monica kind of, which is like, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they made Monica and Darcy be the ones that turn on the guys and beat them up, and then Jimmy Woo be like, "Oh, you guys should have told me."
That's true, yeah.
But it wasn't. It was Jimmy Woo's competent now. He's grown since his character arc in Ant-Man.
Good.
So I really like him. What's your view on Monica?
Which one's Monica?
Monica's the lady that just got powers.
Okay. She's aight.
Yeah, she's like, she doesn't bug me, but I also don't care too much for her.
Yeah, and I think part of it is, okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, she's the daughter of, maybe I'm crazy. Is this the daughter from
Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Okay. She's the little girl.
Okay. All right. Whew.
Yeah, no, you're right.
All right.
Good job.
All right. Which is cool. I do like that like we get to see that character.
Yeah, right.
From a child now to an adult. That's a cool little thing.
It's a nice world building
Yeah.
element.
Yeah. But I didn't care too much that her mom died.
Yeah.
And that was like, I wish I could have felt more for that.
Yeah.
But they had to like, even though they have a television show and they had plenty of time to do things, they didn't have enough time to do that to like really make me feel for her character at all.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like they were wanting you to like remember her from the Captain Marvel movie and that be the emotional
but
impact.
nobody likes Captain Marvel. So.
That's true. Well, and I haven't seen that movie in like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I barely remember, like I remember that character, but I don't remember anything about her.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. It would have been more impactful if she was the daughter of another character that we actually have known throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a while. I don't know who, but yeah. So yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, and she apparently has powers now.
She has powers, which I think in the comic book she has some powers. I guess it'll be interesting to see where they take her. I don't know.
Do you know what kind of powers she has in them?
I think it's
comic books.
It might be similar to like Captain Marvel. It's just like energy stuff. And then we have Darcy, which is it's a nice like it brings you back to the early days of the Marvel movies.
Yes,
she was back then, and she's kind of annoying in the Thor movies, but they've toned her down quite a bit. Again, she's grown as a character.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't think it didn't have to be Darcy. Like that could have just been anyone, but it's nice to see her, I guess.
Yeah, I like that they're bringing characters in that like
all over the place.
Yeah, like you guys didn't have to pay too much to have them in.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So like it's all right to have a little side character, but at least it's like a throwback to something.
Yeah. Again, it's a nice world building element. These characters are within the circle of all this crazy superhero stuff happening, and they get to do something and grow.
Yes, which I think is so like that's such an interesting aspect that like you can't do like nobody would go see a movie about like what do the people think of everything that's going around.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
That movie sucks.
Exactly. Exactly. I would love to see a show based around these three characters, though.
Yeah.
That I saw a post that was like, do an X-Files type show where these three are solving cases within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
But now, whatever her name has superpowers, so she's...
Well, maybe not. Maybe just do Jimmy Woo and Darcy then.
Yeah.
They could be a nice little duo.
Yeah.
And then... The director's something's up with him.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay.
But he's fine. He's a fine character.
And then Agatha, we kind of already talked about her. She's a villain now. What her end game is, I guess we'll talk about that.
She was actually she was probably the funniest parts in the beginning.
Yes,
episodes.
I agree. Yeah. She played up the campiness of the episodes, I think, perfectly. Like it wasn't over the top. It wasn't, and I loved her little the little reveal song.
Yes.
It's like Agatha all along or whatever it was, but like she was just hamming it up.
Yes.
That part where like she's in the car and Vision's outside.
Yes.
She's like looking in the mirror and she like looks over the camera and like perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
That was golden.
She's really funny. Just as an actress. She's in like
what is she in?
She's in like Step Brothers and she's in Parks and Rec for a little bit.
Okay.
Walter Mitty. She's the sister in Walter Mitty.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So she's a funny actress, and I think good casting on that part.
Who's writing these episodes? Do you know anybody that's like written any of the movies? Or is it just...
I actually haven't done any research on that.
Me neither.
I don't know who the showrunner is.
Well,
it's like Matt Shakma or something. It keeps coming up on the screen.
Okay.
The screen that I hate, where it's like, please stand by. It's like, the episode's over.
It throws me off every time. I don't know. Like I'm just never expecting it to be done. Well, mostly because like the credits are like 10 minutes long.
I know it's so long.
So you're like, well, there's plenty of time left in the episode here.
Okay. Well, I will talk about Pietro, and this will be Daniel's thought corner. Let me grab my banjo really quick.
Okay. Play by play. Daniel's walking over across the room. He picks up the banjo. He holds it closely to him like a baby, and he picks it up kindly. Oh. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner about Pietro. Pietro.
Okay. So I said it earlier. Age of Ultron did Pietro dirty. and he was, they shouldn't have. I've always said the biggest misstep the MCU ever did was kill off Quicksilver in his first outing. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I don't think you care too much for him as a character. I'll tell you.
I liked that scene, but it was in X-Men that he like stops everything. Moves everything around, which I guess is part of the MCU now.
Well, we'll get into that too because I don't know. But no, I'll tell you why they shouldn't have killed Quicksilver off. I have two reasons why they shouldn't have done it. First off, it was his first movie. If you want us to care about a death in a movie, like in a franchise, you know, like he wasn't even in the movie that much. He probably has like 10 minutes of screen time at best, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they were setting up Hawkeye to die. I'm not saying I would want Hawkeye to die over Pietro in that movie. Kill off like
I would have killed Hawkeye.
I mean, honestly, yes. I mean, I like that Hawkeye's in, like, I like him in Endgame and stuff like that. But if you want us to care, you got to kill off a character that we have known for a while and like care about.
Like Iron Man.
Well, I'm thinking kill off like Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He was in the latest Spider-Man movie, but turned out to not even be him. It was a Skrull. Yeah. Nick Fury has done nothing since Age of Ultron. Like at all. He was at Tony's funeral. But like kill him off. We've known him for a few movies at that point. He's pretty big. Or kill off like Maria Hill, his right-hand girl.
Yeah.
Kill off someone that we know. You know? That's my
Pietro.
Not Pietro. Not in his first outing. That's my first reason. Second reason is he's so different from any of the other characters, both visually and personality-wise.
That's true.
Okay, so like even kill off Rhodey in Age of Ultron. He shows up at the end. Like Rhodey's just Iron Man.
Yeah.
There's nothing like...
And he falls really far.
Well, that's in Civil War, and he definitely should have died then.
Yeah.
He doesn't... Anyways. Again, you got to have stakes in this movie, or in these movies, but you got to do it with characters that we know.
They weren't willing to do stakes quite yet, except for with Pietro.
So, like, we have Rhodey, that's basically just an Iron Man. We also have, like, Falcon, who's similar. He's wearing a mech suit, and he can fly around. And then as far as, like, we have, like, Captain America. Bucky is similar to Captain America. Hawkeye and Black Widow are similar. We have, like, all these similar characters.
Yeah.
Quicksilver is, like...
He's different than everybody.
He's different than everyone. He's one of a kind. His power set is unique and would have been helpful later on in the movies.
Does he have the same power set of, like, he can actually time travel because he's so fast?
No.
No.
I don't think everything just slows down.
That's just Flash.
Flash can time travel. I don't know. Maybe Quicksilver has time traveled in the comics. I don't know.
Oops.
I don't think that wasn't loud.
It was loud.
Was it?
It was loud. Sorry, I moved my microphone.
Yeah, he's different and then his personality. I love. There's a scene in Age of Ultron when they're all bickering whether or not they should bring Vision to life. It's like Tony and Bruce are arguing with Captain America and Scarlet Witch. And Pietro, because he's so fast, his mind has already made up his decision. He just gets like sick and tired of it, and he just goes ahead and unplugs everything. That's like, he's like, what? Like, you guys were taking too long. Like, he just has such a unique dynamic with everyone else. Like, him and Hawkeye's banter back and forth was really good. I would have liked to have seen his character interact with all the other characters and to kind of see where their relationships were gonna grow and go towards. So those are the two reasons why they shouldn't have killed him off. Now let me do something else.
Okay.
Sorry, this is Daniel's longest thought corner ever.
Whoa.
I'll briefly explain what he would have done if he had stayed alive.
Okay.
So let's say he doesn't die at the end of Age of Ultron. Either Nick Fury or Maria Hill or maybe Hawkeye. I still want Hawkeye to be around till Endgame.
He does look. He's got the cool sword.
He's sweet in that movie. And then or Rhodey. Kills someone else off that we've known for a few movies. Quicksilver lives. So next movie chronologically that he would have been in was Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just hanging about. In the opening of Civil War, you see the Avengers are like on a mission, but Vision and Rhodey are not present during that mission.
Okay.
It's just the next scene. They're like, "Oh, we were here, I guess. We were back at this. Us very helpful characters were just sitting back, relaxing." You could have had a thing where it was like they were on a different mission.
Yeah.
Like they sent Rhodey, Vision, and Pietro off somewhere else, and that's why they weren't there. There's a chase scene in Civil War between Black Panther, Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been a really fun like ending to the chase scene if like Wanda and Pietro it's being like televised, the news,
And
then Pietro
runs out.
just takes off really quick, and like Black Panther's about to like stab Bucky or something.
Yep.
And Pietro just comes and like knocks him off.
Got
and
him.
then, the problem that you run into with Pietro in Civil War is at the fight scene at the airport. It's like 6-on-6. I don't really care if there's one more on Captain America's side, but his power set is weird because there's that shot where they're all running towards each other.
Oh, and he just get there.
Yeah, exactly. So what you do with that, again, I've had a lot of time to think about this. Right before they start running towards each other, their whole point of being at the airport is they're trying to find the Quinjet. So Captain America just says, "Pietro, go find it."
Yeah.
And he takes off and starts running around the airport trying to find it.
That makes sense.
And then the battle happens, and then he calls him on the intercom. He's like, "Found it." Maybe even like very quickly into the battle. He's like, "Hey, I found it. It's here." And then he can fight like Vision or something.
Yeah. His brother-in-law.
His soon-to-be brother-in-law. And then so that's his role in Civil War. Infinity War, I think he's just kind of
He dies.
no. He's just kind of chilling with Captain America in that movie.
Okay.
That group.
Okay.
And then at the end, he's just like running around the Wakandan field.
Just
Just
killing people.
well, you just like you're focusing on other characters, but then like in the background, you can just see like a blue streak going around.
Yeah.
That would have been like funny visually.
Yes.
And then we finally get to Endgame. I think, and I'm sorry, at the end of Infinity War, Thanos snaps, half the world disintegrates, or half of all living life in the universe disintegrates. Quicksilver is left alive.
Okay.
He's living. And I think he is on the mission. He goes, gets one of the stones. I don't know which one. But then when they get back, one of my biggest problems with Endgame is Thanos bombs the mansion right after they reverse the snap.
Yep.
And they just all are all right.
Oh, right. Yes. You
I
talked
think
to me
I've
about
told
this.
you this before. What they should have done was the first bomb goes off, time kind of slows down, and we see Pietro reacts regularly. So, like, he's just acting very quickly. And he saves everyone from the mansion.
Right.
There's a similar scene in X-Men Apocalypse where the mansion's blowing up. That one's a fun scene. This would be, like, intense.
Yeah, like things are almost going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
He gets him right out of the way.
Because the MCU Quicksilver is not as fast as the Fox Quicksilver, like by a long shot. He's not as quick.
Okay.
So like this would actually be like tense. He's booking it as quickly as he can in order to save everybody. And finally, the last person he has to save is Hawkeye. Because
and he doesn't.
Well, no.
He just looks at him and watches him die.
He looks over, and just as like a missile is blowing up right next to Hawkeye, Pietro loses his vision on Hawkeye. So he just closes his eyes and runs through the like smoke. And gets Hawkeye out of there. And then the scene speeds back up and everything goes back to normal speed. Hawkeye kind of is looking around. He doesn't know exactly what happened. He looks up and there's some sort of like shard or something through Quicksilver.
I see.
Like he ran without knowing what he was getting himself into. And then because of doing that, he gets stabbed. And then Pietro dies in the Endgame.
I see.
So then, spoilers.
And now we're basically here.
Now we're basically here. Spoilers for Endgame. Then we'd have three big deaths. We'd have Tony, Nat, Natasha and Quicksilver.
And everybody knows that things that happen in threes are better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then at the end of that movie, at the end of Endgame, Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch are talking, and Hawkeye's like, I wish that talking about Black Widow, he's like, I wish that there was a way she could know that we won.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch replies with, they both do, referring to Black Widow and Vision, but she could have said they all do. And they're either like standing at all their graves or something.
Sure.
Yeah. And then in this show, that's Monica, instead of saying he was killed by Ultron, she can say he was killed by Thanos. And then,
yeah.
So that's my thought process on Pietro and the MCU. It's very long. We may even cut it out of this episode and just make it its own thing so that this episode's not super long. But
that's all right. Give the people what they want, which is hours upon hours of content. You're just gonna change the tuning, huh?
I guess so. But that I think I've always said this ever since Age of Ultron came out. That's the biggest misstep that the MCU ever took, was getting Pietro out of there as quickly as they did. He's just unique. I like him as a character.
I get it. I get what you are saying.
Okay.
All right.
Play us out.
All right, play us out.
Now that the tuning is all messed up.
Let's see how bad it is. Not too bad. Daniel's very long thought corner. Daniel's very long thought corner. Daniel's very long thought corner about Pietro.
Okay. I will close my ears, and you say the spoiler.
Okay. Close your ears.
Okay.
Say la 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 la. You will be. Can you hear me? I guess you can't hear me. Okay, so skip ahead 10 seconds if you don't want to know about this. But there's a good chance that our beautiful friend Doctor Strange is gonna come show up at the very end and bring this into the newest Doctor Strange movie. And done. We're good.
So I was breathing really heavily so that I couldn't hear you.
Did it work?
It did. But you can probably hear me on the podcast. Just like breathing. Yeah, so there you go.
There it is. Pretty crazy.
All right. I guess I'll figure out in the next 2 weeks what that is.
I guess so.
Philip doesn't care about spoilers as much as I do.
It wasn't really that, like, I was looking for it.
Yeah.
It was just like people were like, yeah, this is going to happen. Okay. But I didn't know. And now I know.
Weren't you guys listening to like a Disney podcast or something and he said it on there?
Lindsay was. But then John, my friend John, was like, yeah.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen. I was like, oh, all right.
Okay.
Now I know.
Now, if I say it in my predictions, don't give it away.
I'll just wink at you real good. Wink, wink. Oh.
Well, hi there.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Tommy, you trying to find your voice there a little bit?
I am, but I found I can't find it. Hey.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey.
How are you?
It's just, when you first wake up, it's just hard
It's tough to find your voice.
It's hard to find your voice.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What are you stopping in for today?
I was pretty sad.
Why is
pretty
that?
sad it had been so long.
I know. I'm sorry.
You guys just kind of disappoint me.
Oh, Tommy.
You set the bar so high with all the episodes you've done so far. And now it's just so low that I just couldn't give a flying fliff. And so I just really appreciate it if you guys started doing more episodes. I'm really trying to start my podcast career.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, and you guys are just you're stinking it up. So
okay.
Maybe hurry it up.
Okay, we will.
Do more episodes.
We're going to do our best.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Because you said it last time.
I know. This time's different.
Is it?
It is, I promise you.
Well, today I learned that elephants are tremendous distance swimmers.
Okay, what does that mean?
They can swim for up to 6 hours and 25 miles. They're so buoyant.
Wait, 6 hours and 25 miles?
Up to 6 hours and 25 miles.
Wow, that's a
They're
lot.
so buoyant. that if they tire in the water, they can just rest by floating and will not sink.
Oh,
They
interesting.
can use their trunks as a snorkel and dive. So,
and die or dive?
DIV. DIV. So that's what I learned today. Can you believe it that these beautiful, wondrous, large creatures are just swimming the oceans? I mean, probably the African elephant could swim to America, just no problem.
I don't think so.
They said that they could use their snouts as snorkels. And 25 miles, that's pretty far, I think.
Well, I think the ocean's a bit bigger.
I don't know.
I guess we don't know the scientific evidence for that.
I don't know. Well, so that's what I learned today.
Well, thank you.
I brought my A game, so you guys better do the same, all right?
All right, we will.
All right, I'm leaving.
All right, bye, Tommy.
I'm leaving.
Love you.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
So that means I'm coming back, right?
Yes. Promise.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Be careful on your motorcycle.
It's snowy out there.
I know. Be careful.
It gets cold in the wind.
Do you not have a car?
What's a car?
All right.
Bye.
Man, Tommy's always such a joy.
It's just a good chime, a good chotch, good timey chotch. I don't know what chotch means. It's probably bad.
Judge is a good thing. It's like an insult and a compliment all rolled into one.
Yeah,
So,
I like him.
okay, let's finish up this episode.
Okay.
Do predictions for the ending of
All
the
right.
show.
So
the
we've
next two
talked about,
episodes.
we've said things that we have predictions for. Let's talk about the guy at the fence, the black guy at the fence.
Okay. Yes. Because I said that I had something.
Yeah.
I had a thought. Okay. What if Wanda? So Wanda knows what she's doing. Agatha, however, seems to have been pulling strings.
Mm-hmm.
Those things seem to be contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm sure they'll explain here in the next episodes. What if Wanda's original goal was just to resurrect Vision?
Okay.
However, Agatha, let's say she's been like, because she said in episode 7, she's like, you didn't think you were the only one with magic powers, did you?
Yeah.
So what if she's like been keeping tabs on Wanda or something
Oh.
over the years? She's like, oh, there's someone else with magic. So she was the one that did the hostages. She
Okay, so
either
she's-
implanted that in Wanda's brain to do that or
Gotcha.
something. However, her love for Vision is like
Keeping it going.
keeping it somehow. So she allowed for that guy at the fence
Mm-hmm.
to start telling Vision something and then tell him to zip it so that it would cause strife between Wanda and Vision.
But why would she want Wanda? Why would? Yeah, she want Wanda and Vision to.
Because
have strife.
maybe Vision's just like getting in the way of her experiment with Wanda or whatever she's trying
Yeah.
to do. I don't know if she's trying to see how powerful Wanda is, if she's seeing if she can siphon powers from her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe she's the one that wants Vision out of the picture.
I could see that.
And in episode 7,
Well,
go ahead.
she also does, or maybe this is exactly what you're about to say.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say in episode 7, there was that wacky little scenario with Vision and Darcy where they couldn't get past that red light, where
Yes.
things kept going in front of
Yes.
her. They were saying
It was Wanda.
it was Wanda. What if it was Agatha?
That's what I was thinking too.
She doesn't want Vision around for some reason.
Yeah. And then the previous episode, though, I was thinking Agatha in the car,
Yep.
I forget what exactly happens in that exchange. But
It ends with Vision leaving.
right. So it seems like she kind of convinced him to do so.
Yes. Yeah. Or that was what she wanted to, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, because obviously she's pretending to be under Wanda's control when she's talking to Vision
Yes. Oh, can I mention something?
Yes.
Now that we're here.
Yes.
So, something that always happens when Vision removes someone from like the hold
there. Mm-hmm.
is that they talk about like a loss. So like the guy in the office
Mm-hmm.
is like, my dad is like sick.
Oh.
I hope my dad's okay. And then it happened like 2 other times with somebody. Vision
Okay.
did it.
Okay.
But then with Agatha, it did not.
Mm.
So I feel like that somehow the energy of like sadness is like
feels her
yeah,
or something. Okay.
something like that.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and perhaps she's seen in Wanda, it's like the most most sad.
Yeah, exactly.
And she has these powers, so she's
Yes.
trying to like
And maybe the more that Wanda misses Vision, so that's why she wants to get rid of
the
Vision.
more powerful she becomes, or she
Yeah.
can siphon it from Wanda. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
We figured it out.
But we're figuring it out. My next question is Agatha the main villain? Do you think she, or do you think there's going to be another villain introduction at the end?
I don't know. I feel like it seems like this would be the main villain. I don't think they have enough time to add another villain
Agreed, unless if it's someone else.
that we already know.
Yes. So like, there's the sword director that seems villainous.
Yeah. Do we know like we had the Infinity Stone timeline. What's this next timeline? Do we know?
The Infinity Stone timeline. What do you mean?
So like we knew that the last section was leading up to Infinity Stone.
Oh, this is like right after Endgame.
But no. Like you know how like the Marvel universe, like they like do it in chunks. They're like
phases.
Yeah.
This is phase 4.
Right. Phase 4, but is it phase 4 and what's the like
Oh, I think because like Doctor Strange movie's coming out, so there's like the multiverse concept, and then the new Spider-Man movie's coming out, and there's rumors that it has to do with like there's rumors that Toby and Andrew are coming back.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna have to be some sort of like
It's like
interdimensional character.
War.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think there's talks that the villain of the Doctor Strange movie is like Mephisto or Nightmare or some characters. I'm wondering if like, because Agatha keeps mentioning her husband.
Yes.
I wonder if he's gonna be like
that could very well
big
be
player.
because she said his name.
It's like Frank or something.
No, she said a different name
Oh, did she?
this past episode. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure that her husband's name was like
Okay.
And I was like, I don't remember that being her husband's name,
Okay.
but maybe I just
Interesting.
misheard. Frank.
Right. Well, okay. Because we know that I think Wanda is going to be in the Doctor Strange movie. I think she's confirmed to be in that movie.
Is she? Okay.
So
Spoilers. Jeez.
sorry, they're probably going to be interconnected in some way.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like Agatha's husband ends up being a Nightmare or a Mephisto. These like hellish type beings.
They certainly seem nasty.
Yes, exactly. They're doing witchcraft and stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, I wonder if they're gonna introduce him in this, and then he'll be the main villain for Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Maybe she's the villain for WandaVision, and then this guy comes along.
Possibly. But if it's his husband, and then I'm gonna go back to Pietro's role.
Yeah.
Is he her husband? Because he was at
Oh.
the house. He's like, Snooper's gonna snoop or whatever he says.
I just assumed he's just like a pawn.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. But why was he at the cellar?
Okay, and why is he the different
Quicksilver?
How did this lady get?
A different universe's Quicksilver? But
Yeah.
that's if he is Quicksilver, or if that was just a fun little like, hey, we're gonna cast this guy just as like a fanfare thing.
But that seems so strange.
It seems strange if the payoff isn't that he's a different Quicksilver,
Yeah.
which is my thought process as well. But after last night's episode, I feel like he's not another Quicksilver. I don't know.
I don't know. But does that Quicksilver die in the X-Men
No.
series?
No. He's
That's
alive.
why I think that he is.
That's
So like they had to get a Quicksilver.
and they just brought over the
They
other
had to
one.
bring one that was alive still in a different dimension.
That's what I hope. I hope that we get a Quicksilver in the MCU moving forward, and it's him. Like I'm fine with that. But I don't know.
I don't either.
Because then I remember rumors speculating because he got cast, and they're like, "Is he gonna be Quicksilver? Or is he gonna be a new character?" They're like, "Maybe he's the villain."
Yeah.
So maybe he is the villain.
I wonder, is he Did he mention that he's dead?
He mentioned that he died. He said that he had the memories of the MCU Quicksilver. He said, I got shot in the street and I woke up to this.
But then she was like testing him. Remember? She was like, do you remember this? And it seemed like he didn't actually know.
And then she's like, what happened to your accent? He's like, what happened to your accent?
Yeah.
But then he says something interesting. He says, your dead husband can't die twice.
Yeah.
Quicksilver died before Vision did. Quicksilver would have no knowledge that Vision died. So it's like he slipped up there.
Yeah. And that's what she was like, get out of here.
But then he just wasn't in this past episode. That's what I was saying earlier when like it's almost like each episode it just like kind of ignores a lot of the previous events.
Yeah, because even the kids were like, where's Uncle Pietro?
She's like, don't talk to him.
Yep.
But it's like, where is he? Well, obviously he was at the cellar, but why?
She also didn't care that Vision was just gone.
Right. Yeah, she's like, I can't control him.
Yeah, which is almost like she is just pretending that she can't control him or something.
Or she realized that what she was doing with him was wrong.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, because you'd think when she expanded the barrier that her goal would be like, I'm going to go get him now.
Right.
But it wasn't. He just woke up in that field. Oh, there.
Playing footsie.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what that whole end game is. What'd she do with the kids? Did she eat them?
Yeah, I liked your little theory that she's a witch and she eats kids.
Just like the Hansel and Gretel one?
Well, because you said that she said, I do bite kids.
Yeah, she's like, I did bite a kid once. And then like the thing that showed Wanda that the kids weren't there was that there were like food on the table. There was like 2 sandwiches. And then she's like, where are the boys?
Yeah.
But then there's like a locust on the thing and a bunny.
What's up with the bunny?
I don't know.
I feel like that's that's got to be something. Maybe the bunny is her husband.
I feel like it'd be anticlimactic if she ate them. It's
and they like introduce that they have powers. The son also was like, I can't read your brain. I can't read you. You're empty.
Yeah, he was like, you're quiet inside.
Yeah, and she didn't like it.
And that was the last time we saw them.
Yeah.
So she did something horrible to them.
Definitely.
However, I don't know what exactly it'll be. I want to say she ate them, but I don't. That feels anticlimactic.
Yeah, I don't think that they would do that.
So what do you think the ending of the show is going to be? What do you think it's working towards?
Yeah, I don't want to say.
Oh,
because I know too much.
Okay. So I guess this is just my predictions.
And now it's just your predictions. Okay. I can't say too. Oh yeah.
I saw a quote from like a showrunner or an actress from the show or something, and it said, "The ending is going to be very emotional."
Oh gosh, really?
Really. So, I have a feeling.
I think that. Okay, I will say this.
Yeah, go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I think Vision's dead at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, they will not have a happy ending together.
Yes.
It might come down to like she either chooses him or her kids, and she ends up choosing the kids, or it's like the better part of herself gets a hold of her again, and she's like, "This is wrong."
Yeah.
And she says goodbye to him, and because obviously Vision didn't ask to be alive again, and he probably doesn't want to be alive anymore.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this some more. I think that why Agnes doesn't want Vision around anymore is because he knows something's up. And so
maybe she can't control his mind or something.
Yeah, she can't control him. Neither of them can control him.
Yeah. And
so she's trying to keep him away, and then so the end of the season will be him and Wanda figuring out what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I hope they work together at the end.
Yeah.
I hope that they make amends with one another.
Yeah. Maybe that will be like the emotion is that she has closure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. And either like, because it seems like he can't live outside of the hex. When he went out, he started disintegrating.
Yeah.
So
I was hoping that it would just show that he was like dead.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, but they didn't. I don't know why.
I think he was dying.
Yeah, but it wasn't like.
I think it said that him and Darcy would have a connection for the next episode.
So.
So I wonder if her better self is gonna get a hold of her, and she's gonna be like, okay, I can't have this hex anymore. But if I get rid of the hex, you die.
Yeah. I just thought of something.
Yeah.
So like in the that little like theme song for Agnes after they reveal that she was the
witch.
It talks about it, like shows her like being the cameraman.
Yes.
But earlier when the cameraman does speak,
It's a guy.
it's a man.
Yes.
So I wonder if she's able to like shape shift. Because obviously like things aren't like exactly at what they seem.
Right.
And when I can't ever remember her name.
Wanda?
Nope.
Monica.
The new, yeah, is it Monica? The new,
That has powers now?
yeah.
Yeah.
She like, when she had like blue eyes,
Mm-hmm.
it was like she saw things for what they really were, sort of like things weren't quite right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she, like, this lady's able to like manipulate the way things look.
Okay, I see. Well, because then there was the whole thing where like things were changing and Wanda wasn't able to control it in this
Yeah.
episode. They were changing like throughout the decades. It like
Yep.
became like a black and white TV, and then so maybe has reality altering powers as well. Agatha,
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Seems like it.
Seems like it. I think the ending of the show is gonna deal with Wanda and Vision.
Yeah.
More so than it's gonna deal with like good versus evil.
Yes. Yeah, I
It's
think
gonna
so.
come down to the emotional conflict of, I think, probably letting Vision go or not.
Yeah.
It's at the price of all these people. So like, do I to quote Batman, a completely different universe? You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Is want to become the villain again?
Yeah.
And she decides no, she's gonna be a hero, and she lets everyone go. So what I'm thinking is gonna. I also think, I mean, if she's gonna be in the Doctor Strange movie, I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Strange shows up at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe he like talks her out of it. He's like, look,
That could be interesting.
you're messing up a bunch of stuff right now. Like maybe she creates the multiverse that they have to deal with in his movie
Yeah.
because they're bringing a different Quicksilver over, and it like opens up little pocket dimensions. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and when I thought that when Agatha's little lair, I thought it looked a lot like Doctor Strange.
That's what you had said earlier.
I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, I didn't think that until you
didn't
said
think
that.
that?
I haven't
If you
seen
look
Doctor
at-
Strange in a few years.
If you look at it,
It looks like it.
because it's like it had like a bunch of doors. So maybe Agatha, like that's her lair, and she has different universes that she's able to get
Possibly. Yeah, and then maybe like, because Doctor Strange's whole thing is like, his job is to keep tabs on potential threats throughout the universe.
into. Right.
So maybe he like shows up and he's like, Agatha,
Yeah.
like, can't have you doing this.
Yeah.
I would love it if he just comes and just like obliterates her like really quickly, and then he has to like talk Wanda out of.
Yeah.
But then there's all the sword stuff. I don't know where that's heading.
Right.
I have like I don't think I have any predictions for the sword stuff. Monica's kind of a wild card at this point.
Monica's.
So is Pietro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so is the director of Sword. I don't know.
I mean, I think that. Well, and they talked about like him being. They're trying to resurrect
Vision for some reason.
to be a weapon again. Is what they said.
Yeah.
Which I. But how would they do that without the Mind Stone?
I think that's why they were failing, is because they didn't have it.
Maybe they can make a Mind Stone.
Maybe or Wanda can make a mind. Maybe she did make a Mind Stone. That's why he's alive again. Vision. I don't know.
I don't know.
I would like it if like we just resolve all that stuff. The hex goes away, and then the director of Sword is like mad. He's like, "You let Vision die?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah." And it just like deflates all the sword stuff. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
That would be interesting.
Just because I feel like, I mean, that stuff's. I enjoy watching the sword stuff, but it's not where the heart of the show's at. And I
Right.
feel like it's not really what it's working towards.
I could see that becomes part of something else.
Yeah. I
Or
feel
like maybe that will be more about like what the what's the new show that's about to start?
Oh, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, maybe that'll have something
Possibly.
to do
They
with
might
it.
be like the villains of that or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, possibly. There's this show is loosely based on a comic called House of M.
Okay.
that's all about Scarlet Witch. And at the end of that comic, she says, "No more mutants," and she obliterates all mutants from existence. Like that's how powerful she is, just by saying the words. Like all mutants disappear. I wonder if they're going to do the reverse of that.
Oh,
and she's going to say, because
where the mutants at?
Where the mutants at? That's the exact words that I was going to say. That she was going to say.
It's just like that too.
Where the mutants at? No, but like
they're like all gangsters.
Wolverine has like a gold chain.
Magneto's like, whoa, what's up?
But I wonder if like, because Monica got powers by going through the hex.
That's true.
So I wonder if like everyone inside the hex is going to end up getting powers through that, or if like when she disbands it, it sends like energy through time and space.
Oh.
Or if she comes to like a ideal, I can't say that word.
Ideological.
Wow. Yeah, like mindset of like there needs to be more powered beings or something. And she's like mutants. And I mean,
cool.
It would be cool. There's a few, like obviously Magneto is older. Like there's some characters that wouldn't be able to have their backstories unless if it went through time as well. Like it went back to like the beginning of time and mutants were a thing. So I don't know, but it's fair to point out because this is based loosely on that storyline, and that's how that storyline ends. So I wonder if they'll do the reverse because they're obviously able to bring mutants into it now.
Yeah.
So
do you know if Agatha is a real villain in the Marvel universe?
She is, Agatha Harkness. She like helps Scarlet Witch kind of learn how to use her powers in the comics. So. But it seems like they're kind of making it like she wants to use her powers which might even happen in the comics. She might be like
manipulating her.
Yeah. But she's like an old lady in the comics.
Maybe she's an old lady now.
That's true. That I would have loved when she like was like, you didn't think you were the only person with powers. She had like crazy hair. I would have loved if she was just like an old woman makeup.
That would have been fun.
And she had like a cackle. She kind of had a cackle. She laughed at something.
At the very end of her like little song, she kind of cackles. I like they're playing on the witch part of it. Which I guess is probably that makes sense. If like it's Scarlet Witch.
I'm sure that after this show, this is probably where she's gonna get her name at. Because so far they just call her Wanda in all the movies. So I wonder if like after this event, the Scarlet Witch,
versus the
Black Witch or whatever.
Yeah, or it's like kind of purple.
Maybe, Magenta Witch,
Violet Witch.
Yeah. So that's
our show, huh?
Those are my predictions. Did it get close to anything that you thought that?
Can't say.
Okay. I guess we'll see in the next 2 weeks. Maybe we can do just a quick wrap up video after the next 2 episodes.
A wrap up video
podcast. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
But
I don't want to show my face anymore.
So yeah, that was long.
That's all right.
We babbled on for a long time.
I like it.
But those are our thoughts on WandaVision.
Yes.
So.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes.
You're the best, and
nope.
They're the best.
No,
we're the best, and you're the best, but not you.
Do you want to try it again?
Nope.
Okay. All right. You can always. Oh, geez, you messed me up. You can never be perfect, but you can always be better. Oh, let's redo that.
Redo it? All
yeah,
right.
We'll keep that one in, but let's actually get it right.
All right. Hey, Daniel.
Yes, Philip.
Well, hey, listener.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, listener. You're the best, and we're the best.
You can never be perfect, but you can always be better. We love you. All right, there we go. It's been a long time.